Well, that sure was a dialogue heavy episode. Pokemon! 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 Hello everyone, I'm Dustin Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon XY anime discussion. Today we're going to talk about the penultimate end of the X and Y series before the X, Y, and Z series starts. Sorry about that noise. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, today we're going to talk about of course, the Sundial episode, and of course, we're going to also discuss about the gym battle. We've got a preview, and we're also going to discuss, of course, a summary for the first X, Y, and Z episode that I may have actually didn't put in. I'm, of course, in my bedroom. That way I have better internet and no one's here right now. You may see different change location relatively soon. Do not worry. I'm not moving or anything like that, but I will have an opportunity to do this somewhere else. So anyway, let me talk about the particular episode. There's really not a lot that I can say, really, that I can make notes about because it was dialogue heavy, and a lot of it is just talking about certain episodes and stuff. So it's like really hard for me to discuss anything in particular, but I will explain all that I can the best I can. So anyway, the beginning of the episode basically begins, let's see, I believe it was Serena looking at the princess. Well, maybe. Hold on. Huh. Even though I'm right there where internet is, I'm still having issues with internet. Okay. Now, I don't know if it was Olympia that started it or Ash and Serena. Okay, so it started with, of course, inside the Anistar gym, and there's a whole bunch of psychic users with psychic Pokemon, glowing blue and flying relatively, possibly with psychic Pokemon. You know, we have Swoobat, Mime Jr., Curlia, Gothita, or rather Gotharita, sorry. And we have Why Not and Esper, and then we have Olympia just in the air floating, looking. Everyone's happy, you know. And then Olympia has a vision. It's Ash, Ketchum, and Pikachu. And then it has Sycamore. And then one of the apprentices, I'm guessing, of Olympia decide, yeah, the knight, Princess Night Woman that I said in my earlier video is actually an apprentice of Olympia, so there is relation, as well as that other woman that we saw in the preview as well, or I don't know if it was the Sunday Pokemon Sunday preview or whatever. I think right now it's called Pokenenchi. It changed from Pokemon Smash or something like that, where they do the next uh, the next iteration of whatever Sunday set special is, and they do a extra preview with it a little bit different anyway. So then so this woman's like really scared or nervous, and she's looking at Sycamore and Ash like upset. So then we get the opening thing, blah blah blah, and then we move in. Serena's looking at her Princess Key, the mustache one, and it looks really interesting. Pikachu gets excited for the gym battle, but scares Eevee. And then they basically run out to go battle the gym battle. But before that, Malva actually appears on TV and talks about the Anistar a little bit more, I believe. At least that it shows an image of the Anistar Sundial. So I'm assuming that's what it is. And so they're going along. They're going to the gym. Team Rocket's watching, and then we get a funny scene where James does the holocaster uh, that Oak does at the end of the Japanese version of the anime. he always does Pokemon and he talks about them and he usually gets attacked by the Pokemon. In sixth generation, they included Rotom because um, uh, Professor Oak caught it at the end, but this time it was just James, and he was just talking about the sundial and how great it was, or whatever the situation was. They thought it was like worth a lot, so they're planning something, obviously. So Sycamore uh, starts putting up equipment, and then of course that apprentice woman that we've seen before shows up with her sigil lift and uses, I think, Psywave and destroys the equipment. Then Ash and Serena show up, and Sycamore is like really weird and not understanding what's going on. And then she's saying something, of course, I don't know what she's saying. Something about a future or whatever. And then she sends out Sableye when Ash shows up. Then Ash uses Pikachu and um, Frogadier. Sigilif loses to, I believe, a Thunderbolt. Yeah, because the Electro Ball missed. So I believe it was a Thunderbolt. Sigilif is out, and then of course it's Frogadier and Sableye. Uh, Frogadier uses Aerial Ace to finish the attack. The battle off. Then she recalls her Sableye, and then she's about to send another Pokemon out. But then, of course, Olympia shows up and blocks it, and chastising the girl, the woman, saying that she did things without thinking, or she didn't get an order. And then apparently this woman, this Princess Knight that we saw in the preview, the one with the red hair, apparently has a direct superior outside of Olympia. Olympia is like the head honcho, but I think this blue-haired woman that's really talking to this woman with reddish magenta hair, I think is like the direct superior to this woman. I don't know what their names are. I'd have to look up the summary or whatever. But yeah, the blue hair I think is like the head apprentice, I believe. So yeah, so everyone's all explaining something is going wrong here. Sorry. They're explaining to her that she did things without permission and she wasn't thinking or whatever. And anyway, then Olympia introduces herself basically. Sycamore recognizes her as the gym leader. That's when Ash gets introduced into the gym leader. And then, of course, that's when Olympia actually has a particular vision of Frogadier evolving into Greninja and then further going into Ash Greninja. So she's like, Ash, everyone, come to my gym now. There's things that we need to discuss. So they're at the gym. So that's where we got the gym scene. And apparently, I was wrong. The gym battle does not start at the end of the episode, but everyone's like talking, wondering what's going on. Of course, Mega Evolution Act 3 is referenced because Olympia foretold that it was going to appear, or it was going to happen, or saw that it happened before, and then it actually happened. The Hoenn region, Mega Evolution Act 3 hints and everything of that nature. So then they're moving on, and then of course Frogdier's backstory is mentioned. This wasn't revealed until the Sunday episode, and I already did my thoughts of what was going to happen in the gym battle, and or the next episode, this particular Sundial episode. So I didn't have a chance to mention that there was going to be backstory episode because I'm only able to do one video a week at the moment. Well, about one to more videos, but separated between channels and stuff. But for my Pokemon videos, I can only do one video a week potentially. I might be able to do a little bit more later because I'll probably have a lot more free time to make videos and be completely undisturbed. The issue is, of course, going into the shed and making videos. But anyway, that's irrelevant right now. Anyway, back to the Frogadier backstory. We learn that Frogadier hatched from an egg, which is really cool because we see Frogadier's egg, and it's a blue egg with white hands on it, Froakie's hands. So it hatched into Froakie. We get Froakie, who's kind of an outsider. Ash's original Froakie was an outsider doing his own thing, battling and and of that nature, and then he snubs all these other Froakie, and then of course all these other Froakie decide to attack Ash's Froakie basically before it was Ash's Froakie. So then he gets hurt in some fashion or another. And then Nurse Joy heals Froakie, and then of course there's the trainer, Froakie's first trainer, who chooses Froakie. Froakie doesn't like the trainer. Um, someone someone did explain why that was the case, although I can't entirely guarantee the veracity of the statement. But basically, Froakie snubbed all of these particular trainers because they didn't have what Froakie wanted. So, and I don't know if that was explained yet, but basically, then Ash comes into the scene. We get flashbacks of when Ash caught Froakie, and then Froggedier's happy with Ash, and they're really excited for the gym battle. And then, and then of course, that's when we learned that the reason why Olympia took notice was because something was going to happen to Froggedier, and apparently, someone explained that what Froakie was looking for was basically love between trainer and Pokemon, and apparently the other trainers didn't have that. They didn't love Froakie, I guess, or they treated him like crap, basically. They didn't work with him. They just basically abandoned him, and that's the difference between Ash and Froakie, because Ash was there protecting it, and even though it wasn't his Pokemon, he still showed it concern and everything. So that's why Froakie decided to go with Ash. So of course, then Olympia says, "Well, the reason why they brought them to the gym was because something is Frogadier was going to power up." And Ash, according to what I've heard, said that is Frogadier going to evolve into Greninja or something of that nature? And Olympia's like, I'm not sure, but basically it happens as the bond between Ash and Frogadier. So then Sycamore's like Mega Evolution, and that Frogadier is going to evolve, and it would be the first time that Frogadier or there would ever been a Mega Greninja. So we're nowhere near we're still far away from knowing what's going on with Ash Greninja. But as they're seeing there's a great bond and everything, and then suddenly Olympia has another vision, and this time the Anistar Sundial is in danger, and everyone's like freaking out. But then Olympia has one of her Meowstic, the male Meowstic, using Helping Hand, and the female Meowstic using Future Sight, which of course is the five and the four portals or whatever. And then everyone's like, well, we got to go to the sundial, see what's going on. So Ash and everyone, Sycamore and the apprentices, go to the Anistar gym, or the Anistar sundial, and that's where Team Rocket are there trying to gather it, trying to pick it up. And of course, in the background, we get occasionally shots of a timer going down, and Ash has Frogadier using water pulse. It scratches the sundial a little bit, but they're still kind of there. And then the timer runs out, and of course we got this huge future side attack that hits the balloon with what appears to be psychic electrical energy, because it looks like the Meowth balloon is being electrified, and then they're being attacked, Team Rocket are. And then of course they blast off, and that's just the power of Future Sight. So there's like some concern whether or not Ash is gonna do okay in the gym, because that was very powerful attack, but Ash feels like he's gonna do very well, or he's getting excited because this is a powerful trainer. Tierno apparently wasn't able to beat Olympia, so then it's Ash's turn to beat Olympia. So then the scene ends with Olympia just in front of the sundial, and Ash and Frogadier next to each other. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. It was a really dialogue heavy episode. I can't exactly say for sure what was going on outside of what I've read in the forums or other people talking like on Twitter, or well, not my Twitter feed, but other people's Twitter retweeting what has been said or whatever. But basically, yeah, that's the gist of it. And despite it being a very weird episode, it did have that feeling. It was still a pretty good episode despite that. It was interesting. It had future revelations of Ash Greninja. Now, I am a little disappointed in that we didn't get to see anything beyond what's going to happen relatively soon, because I would have loved to see Ash battling against Wolfric, and we got some spoiler stuff there, like maybe Noivern or Talonflame or something, and then uh, Olympia, of course, being vague or whatever, and being like, "This is what will happen in the future." Well, not explaining what will happen, but basically, you will battle Wolfric at Snowbell Gym. Prepare your hardest, or something like that, and that would be very interesting. But instead, they just focused on Frogadier, which is fine, which is great and dandy and great, because this would probably be the only time to actually focus on Frogadier and Ash's relationship in this fashion with a trainer like Olympia. It's just that we kind of already knew that Ash Greninja is going to happen. So, I mean, for the casual viewer not looking up on spoilers, this was probably a very cool episode because it kind of hinted that Greninja is going to happen relatively soon. So, yeah, pretty good episode. That's because it was dialogue heavy. That's all I can say about it. But the battle was nice. Pikachu got a win. Frogadier got a win before. And of course, there was a funny moment with James pretending to be Professor Oak in the Holocaster scene. We got to see a nice scene of Sigilif, and of course Olympia. We get to know about Olympia. It was definitely Olympia heavy focus or whatever. But the disappointing thing is, despite the title, it had very little to do with the Anistar Sundial. Just the very beginning and the very end, basically. Everything else in between was unrelated to the Sundial for the most part. It was mostly about Frogadier, which is perfectly fine or whatever. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So let's move on to, of course, the gym battle. I gotta say, I need to stop making predictions because I keep not getting any correct prediction. I don't even know what the last uh, correct prediction that I've ever done, but I've been doing a lot of wrong predictions, and it's not looking like Frogadier is going to evolve in the gym battle at all. Um, Now, I want to, before I criticize the preview and what I expect to happen, I want to make it perfectly clear. I'm not criticizing the battle in of itself. I'm more criticizing what the gym battle is going to represent in altogether. Basically, what I'm saying from the preview, the double battle looks really nice. So just let's go through the preview real quick and discuss the trailer, the preview for the next episode. So basically, Ash is using Olympia, Meowstick, using Future Sight with psychic electrical energy. That's what it looks like. Uh, the Meowstick coming together to do an attack. Then, of course, we see that Frogadier scene where it's dodging what I'm assuming is. I don't know what that is. It's a purple attack. It kind of looks like Shadow Claw, but I don't think it's Shadow Claw, so maybe something similar. Talonflame, of course, is dodging the same thing. So it just might be a beefed up side beam attack or whatever. And then we see Olympia with Future Sight. Then we see Talonflame and Frogadier being attacked. Then we have Pikachu using its tail as a metronome, basically, as a timer, I guess. Meowstick is using Dark Pulse. The other Meowstick is using some attack. I don't know what that is. I think it might be Psyshock, but I'm not really sure. It's male Meowstick, and it's using 3 waves, purple waves. Well, I'll continue with the trailer, and I'll look at male Meowstick's moveset to see if I can't think of anything familiar similar to it. But anyway, moving on. Okay, then Frogadier is using Cut. Talonflame is using uh, Flame Charge, I'm guessing. That's a really nice Flame Charge attack. And cut, I think, and that's the end of that particular preview. And then the sponsor part, which I'm probably not going to get, is Ash just sending out Frogadier and Talonflame, looks like, and then Olympia using Meowstic's Helping Hand, and that's pretty much it. So, I'm the problem is this isn't exactly what I was looking for when I thought this was going to be the double battle. I thought Talonflame was going to have very little to do with the gym battle. And it kind of makes sense because I feel like Talonflame is just injecting itself for no real reason. I mean, the reason is because Ash is using a Pokemon that he wants to use, and that's Talonflame. But I feel like based on the Sundial episode, it seems as if. Okay, hold on. What? Sarah B. Okay, male, female. Okay. So, male Meowstic, I believe it could have been Psyshock, maybe? I don't know. It's really hard to say for certain what it would have been. Psybe, maybe? I guess we'll find out. So yeah. The problem is I feel like Talonflame is just being included just for the sake of being included without actually making it about the storyline. I realized that the writer, I think it's Tomioka, may have been going for a teamwork type theme, but that's not entirely what I wanted this gym battle to be about. I understand why they went with the double battle because of two Meowstic and at the same time, but I wanted this to be about Frogadier and Ash primarily. And that's why I feel like I'm not really going to enjoy the gym battle. It's going to be one heck of a double battle. Don't get me wrong, it looks epic. And if this was any other situation, any other double battle, and not against Olympia, despite what just happened in the Sundial episode, as well as it not being the seventh gym battle, I would have been perfectly happy with this particular type of double battle. So the double battle in of itself is going to be great, but what it represents, what it means to the storyline of the end of X and Y series is going to be severely lacking because it's going to be a team effort between Frogadier and Talonflame when it should have been between Frogadier and Ash. Now Ash has a division of attention to his Talonflame and not just Frogadier, which kind of makes the whole Sundial episode kind of pointless because it's like, well, you just showed off this great bond between Frogadier and Ash, and that's fine, but then you're going to throw Talonflame in there, and then Ash has to care about Talonflame equally to Frogadier, which means that it's unlikely that Frogadier is going to evolve into Greninja in the very next episode. Also, as a result of the preview and what we saw in today's episode, it doesn't seem like Sycamore is going to be watching the gym battle at all. But I could be wrong, but the only problem that I have with the double battle is that it's not just about Ash and Frogadier. And based on the Sundial episode, it should have been just about Frogadier and Ash. Now, Talonflame is going to divert some of the attention away from Frogadier and Ash, and we're not going to get some epic evolution into Greninja as a result of the bond between Ash and Frogadier wanting to beat the Meowstic and then evolving and stuff of that nature. Now, someone in the forums suggested, well, the problem is Olympia already knows that Greninja is going to actually happen, so it's not like Greninja is going to be necessarily a surprise, and she has to think of a dark type thing. But what I really wanted throughout the whole entire battle in here, let me read my particular post on this, is what I wanted. for this particular gym battle. I wanted Ash to struggle in the beginning, and as a result, Froggy evolves into Greninja. And then Olympia struggling against Greninja's dark type, but then managing to overcome that, and that way that Ash and Olympia would be tied and equal, and then it would be a who would win sort of situation. Now, we already know because of the X, Y, and Z episode 2 summary that basically Ash is going to win the gym battle unless it gets destroyed in some fashion or another. But what I wanted was Ash and Frogadier, one last moment together a little bit before it evolved in that episode and then proceeded to be the last thing that X, Y, and Z, or the last episode X and Y would have done. But that's not going to happen. Instead, we're going to get a double battle, and it's going to be a teamwork thing with Ash being synchronized with both Frogadier and Talonflame. And as a result, I'm actually not entirely looking for it. I will watch it, and it will be epic, but it won't be satisfying. That's the one disappointing thing about the gym battle. I could still be wrong. I could still be wrong. Frogadier could still evolve into Greninja. Talonflame could still be knocked out, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the actual case. So, like I said, it's going to be kind of disappointing to actually see that. But what I expect happens basically in the preview, based on every double battle, non evolved situation, what's going to happen is Ash and his Pokemon are going to take a beating. Meowstic are not going to be dealt any damage whatsoever. And then Ash is going to come up with some sort of brilliant idea, potentially involving Future Sight of some kind, probably forcing Future Sight to attack Meowstic and then take advantage of that. And then, as a result, come up with some combination attack that knocks out Meowstic, just like every other double battle that Ash hinged on one particular moment. Like, it's going to be very similar to Tucker in the Battle Frontier when it was Swellow and Corphish versus Arcanine and Swampert. That's what it's going to be like. Uh, Corphish and Swellow dealt a lot of damage, and then Ash managed to turn it around and just dealt like a couple of blows to Arcanine and Swampert and basically knock them out, and that's probably what it's going to happen here. I don't think anyone's going to learn a new move unless that flame charge is actually Flare Blitz, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think there's going to be any new moves. I don't think Frogadier is going to evolve and learn a new move. So basically, that's what I expect for the gym battle. Talonflame and Frogadier to struggle most of the gym battle, only for Ash to come up with some strategy or tactic to get the upper hand. They deal one or two hits on Meowstic, and that's the end of the battle. The battle will look nice, it'll be animated very well, and it'll be tense and exciting. And for a particular double battle, it will be very good. But in terms of it being a gym battle, it's not going to be as satisfying as it should have been, especially since it's the last X and Y episode. Now, hopefully, I'm wrong, but basically, this means that I got to stop predicting things because otherwise, I'm just going to be left very disappointed. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers it. So let's move on to the last bit of this video, and we're going to talk about the summary for the first X, Y, and Z episode. Anything else X, Y, and Z? Anything else relating to X, Y, and Z will wait until around next week, approximately, or sometime after this video is uploaded, depending on whether or not circumstances work the way they do. But for right now, we're just going to talk about the summary for the X, Y, and Z one. And this is what it says. Aiming to enter the Kalos League, Ash and his friends continue their journey towards Snowbell City, where the last gym is located. Thank you for revealing that Ash gets the gym badge. While taking a break, the group encounters a mysterious squishy Pokemon that's not listed in the Pokedex. As Ash and the others get excited that it might be an entirely new Pokemon species, a mysterious group of people suddenly attack them. And this is, of course, the explosive birth of Z, that which lies hidden in Kalos. I don't know what this could be. Frogadier could evolve in this episode. Noibat could get some focus. I don't know. Talonflame, Halucha, anything could happen in this particular episode. But basically, all we know is that Puny-chan or Zygarde Core will indeed be in that particular episode. And that's pretty much all we got is Bonnie. It's going to be Bonnie focused a little bit, I'm sure, where she focuses on this particular Pokemon or whatever. And of course, they're going to be attacked. And who knows? Maybe mysterious group of people attack them. Maybe it'll be Team Flare. This will likely be a Team Flare. There are some shots of what's of like a drawing storyboard kind of thing going on in X and Y and Z segment. We have someone drawing what I assume is a lawn or Lysander, and I will probably show this. It's going to be very small because it's 4 pictures on top of each other, and it's just one picture in general. But basically, then we see Zygarde Core, and then we see Team Flare, one with a Sneasel, and the other one with a Skorupi, I'm assuming. And then, of course, there's other Team Flare members below, with one with a Houndoom and one with, I guess, a Houndour. And then we see Zygarde Core. Oh, yeah, Houndoom and Houndour. And of course, we see, was that Celosia? No, that's not Celosia. That's wait, or is it Celosia? Hold on. No, let's see. No, it's Mabel. Sorry, it had blue hair, and I was a little confused. Celosia has green hair, and Mabel is the one with the blue hair. So we see Celosia. So at least Celosia is going to appear possibly in the first episode. Or did I just say Celosia again? I meant Mabel. Sorry, I'm looking up Celosia, but yeah, Celosia. Yeah, Mabel is the one with blue hair. So we're going to see Mabel really soon, and she has Houndoom, of course, it looks like in this particular thing. So it's really cool because we're actually seeing how the episodes are actually made, and it's really cool. It looks like the characters are drawn, and then the background is like roughly drawn, and then and then it looks like it's filled in with color on the computer, basically computer drawing or whatever. So yeah, I will try and give show you this image as I can, if I can. You probably have already seen it, but yeah, I'll probably try and get this shown up so you can at least see what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. There's not a lot of new information that I can talk about in the particular episodes going on. I don't think any new information was revealed for the Quilladin episode. I still don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe we'll have more ideas sometime next week, possibly. That might give us more hints. But no, there's nothing new. Just Serena practicing her Pokemon Showcase and a Quilladin that falls in love with Eevee, with Serena's Eevee. So that's pretty much it. Nothing else. No new title as far as I'm aware. And so that's it. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.